Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Welcome to all the guests. We have a guest from Los Angeles. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
Ari Platt.
Shalom Aleichem. Too late. Do you want another one?
Yeah,
another one. Here we go. Smile over there. From LA. We got to be Mechazik LA. Rabbi, you're talking about LA. What?
I live in Chicago and Chicago.
Oh, you live in Chicago?
Yeah.
If I would have known. Yuvaldi, so do I. I also have a place. So you don't, how often do you go to LA? We're trying to make a center over there, to make a geshma, you know what I mean?
Only for work, but not
for work. Okay, good. So if we make a center, you can hop in over there. 9 o'clock over there, 9 p.m. over there is shear time over here. Mark Ashkenazi is starting a location over there in Phoenix. 10 o'clock p.m. over there is 7 o'clock by us. Be'ezrat Hashem, we got to get going in America. We got to make it storm. They showed me that they have nice bar parties that are going well. The 5 towns. Bekitzer, just want to remind the Oilam, because if you weren't here last night, this is our brand new GEMARA. Super exciting. There are no notes on the bottom. All the pshat is on top. Everything pshat, like back, the forth. It's not just explaining the words, it's explaining the pshat. So it's beautiful, everything has a QR code. You can get one of these for free if you join MDY. How's it go? Join Daf Yomi or something like that. Join dafyomi.com. If you join the shir, over 400 people joined for Ariel already, and we're hoping for many more. It's also for sale. Givaldik. Huh? It's $39, I believe. So I showed, this is a very long video, a trailer from Seftas Harius that Fischl put in a lot of work, Fischl and someone else, I forgot who, maybe Innovations. Lilu Nishmas, Mark Ashkenazi's father. And I showed yesterday 2 minutes of it, and the oil was like, more, we want the rest. And I didn't have the rest, I cut, I said, it's too much. I'm gonna show the whole thing right now, I think you're gonna enjoy. Rabbi Isai, here we go. A lot of work goes into these kind of things.
The clock is ticking, the new Maseta calls. Last one's finished, a new chapter for us all. It's short, it's deep, it's coming your way. Wednesday, September 3rd, the 10th day of Elul. Maseta Horios! Let's do this!
Let's go!
The summer is winding down, Elul's in the air. A time for teshuvah, a time to prepare. A new Maseta's waiting, short and so sweet. Just 13 black, my friends, it can't be beat. We're starting on that base, the sprint to the line. Join the MDY family, the feeling's divine. Set your alarm clock, get ready for the call. A brand new beginning for one and for all. He bursts on the screen with a fire in his soul. That morning energy taking its toll. Good morning, Rabbi Sai. The holy shout rings. For Masech the Horios, the wisdom it brings. With Eli Stefansky, we're starting up fresh. 13 Daf Torah, putting minds to the test. What if the High Court makes a faulty decree, a mistaken ruling for the whole world to see, and the nation follows, they're led all astray? Who brings the korban at the end of the day? Is it the Kohen Gadol, anointed with oil, or the Nasi, the king on the holiest soil? We'll tackle the questions, the intrigue, the fights, and learn about getting our rulings just right.
innovations. It's Mark's father, the Zichrono Livracha, and he testified at the Watergate. He's a mumcha in audio. He was a professional audio guy, like he understood audio. So by the Watergate scandal, he came with his yarmulke and testified it in Congress and whatever he had to testify. Rabbi Isai, the Masechta is sponsored. No emails today. Shkoyach official. Parnasa Masechta Mishpach Shlaf Rag L'Fur Shleim Shechaverina Kiva Shusham Ben Natalie Penina. Oh, wrong one. You know what? We'll say it anyways. He should have a refuah shleima, this boy. Lives right across the street from us. MDY Shabbaton sponsors. Adar Global, Specialist in International Financial Services, Anonymous refuah shleima Yonatan Eitan Ben Bashev Bracha, who's here this morning with us. Refuah shleima of Yosef Chaim Ben Dvorah Chaya Golda. Masechta sponsor David Salomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meiri, Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichrono Livracha. Anonymous Hatzlacha Baruch Nis V'Gashim L'Schus Achenu B'nei Yisrael. Anonymous, may our learning be a shield of protection and a source of unity and blessing for Am Yisrael. Joel Gedalius, Leon Nishmas, my father Jack Gedalius. Multi sponsors TCS Israel, Power by Talking Save Anonymous, Refuah Shleima, Sar Bam Motaram, and Shir Bat Sarah. Weekly sponsors Anonymous. The whole Klal Yisrael should have a good Kibbutz Shior. Anonymous, as a schus for continued success in Parnasa and to be able to support Torah and those in need. Amen. Daily sponsor Peter Merker in memory of Ruth Denker, Rochel Bas Moshe on her 41st yahrzeit, and MDY Art monthly refuah shleima for Yehonatan Eitan Ben Basheva Brocha, refuah shleima Mordechai Ben Esther, refuah Sayeled Daniel Zev Ben Ayelet Esther. Boys are holding,
Tuesday there's going to be a breakfast to honor the Siyum.
On Tuesday, there'll be a breakfast. Come one, come all. If you are that guy that lives on this block, guy comes, knocks on my door. I know him from before. Comes with his two sons. He says, my two sons do this shir every day. Where does he live? On this block. On Nachal Noam. He's never been into the Beis Medrash. I mean, he's been, a few years ago, he came for a few days, but that's it. But he says, I know every single day. But he lives on this block. So you could come with your two sons, whoever you are, and there'll be a siyum. Tuesday morning, Givaldik. What time? Regular time? Okay. Givaldik, let's see. We're holding the Vayin Daled Amud Aleph, brand new Mishnah. This Mishnah has a lot of musagim and shas, a lot of different concepts. I had a bunch of yeshiva boys in my house on Shabbos, because it's in the parasha. I asked them what Egla Arufa was. Unfortunately, not all knew what it was. Elu asurim va'isrim b'cholshu. These are things that even if you mix them in with 1,000, 1 in 1,000, all 1,000 become asur. Yayin nesech. So we're not talking about one drop in 1,000 drops. We're talking about this, one barrel mixed in with all the other barrels. So even one barrel of yayin nesech mixed in with 1,000 other barrels makes all the barrels asur. Avodah Zarah. Let's say you have some sort of doll. Let's call it a doll. And this doll is an Avodah Zarah doll, and it gets mixed in with 1,000 other dolls in Toys R Us. Does that place still exist? Toys Us R, whatever. They changed the name of Shtickle. Yeah, whatever. In the you know what I'm talking about.
Weeby Toys.
On the Amazon, the seller, he has 1,000 dolls. One of them was Avodah Zarah. Got mixed in with all the dolls. V'oros levuvin. This we had. I'll just remind you what. Yoshi's very nice, very nice. It's also with new technology. We had a whole sugi of the slit or it's a round hole. Here's a new one for last night. I like this one even more.
Hey there, little fella. Time for a checkup. Just a little peek inside.
Takes out his heart while he's alive. Just a little peek inside. That's Oris Levuvin. That obviously they do that for Avodah Zarah. B'shora Niskal. An ox, let's say, who killed a human being. We have to kill him and you can't benefit from this ox. It gets mixed in with a whole ranch of oxes. It's farfallen, all aser. Had a shiloh. I was pretty sure I was going to get a reaction like that. The only thing is that we didn't have Hill there last night, so I didn't get his answer. But I'll ask you, in America, it's happening quickly. I saw this in Los Angeles. I know you guys saw in Los Angeles. Whoever's in Los Angeles, you see self-driving cars. They're all over. They're great records. Yeah, all over. Self-driving cars. It's coming. It's going to be everywhere. The taxis, the this. So I ask you a question. What if a self-driving car kills a human being?
All the time.
I don't know if it happens all the time. I don't know when the last time. That happens less than regular cars.
There's a lot of accidents, though. That there is.
So I'm asking you, Shiloh.
Okay.
That's
Is the man sitting there?
no. A self-driving car and a guy crosses the street and the self-driving car kills the guy. Do we destroy the vehicle just like we destroy this ox? Because one of the reasons is you don't want this people talking about this ox and everybody's going to be pointing. Yeah, that's the Tesla that killed somebody.
Technology.
Huh?
You destroy the whole technology.
That was one of the things they said yesterday. Maybe you have to do do an update. And then I told them the story in Target. They had no idea, the Israelis. And I bought the Tesla in Chicago, and I didn't know what I was doing. Like it's hard to get used to the Tesla in the beginning. Like first of all, when you let go of the gas, it stops. It's like if anybody went in a bumping car, there's only like this gas, and you could take that off actually. And then getting used to like going into a car without keys, without push buttons, nothing. You just go in and you drive, and then when you leave, you just leave. Okay, if you've been in a Tesla, there's no turning anything off. You stop driving and you get out and it shuts down by itself. Kids, I get to Target. I had a 30-minute window or something, but I had to give a shear and catch a flight. So I run to Target. I had to get the typical, the scope, the deodorant, the things that they don't. And as I get to Target, it says, "Would you like to do the update?" It's like, why not? It's a brand new car. Why not? Yes. And then as soon as I press yes, it says, "Do not touch this for the next hour." I don't know what. I'm stuck in Target. That's it. So I had to take an Uber back home, left my car in Target, and I said, "And whoever wants a free Tesla, go ahead. It's waiting for you in Target." So, okay. Anyway. Zog the GEMARA. So what do you say? Anybody here, raise your hand if you believe that you have to destroy the car. Anybody? We have one kid that says you have to destroy the car. What's going on there? Oh! You think so? Good. Rocky also. Oh, we're getting some. What's your name? Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? You raise your hand, so I have to ask you what your name is. Sorry. What's your name? Oberlander from Muncie. And you?
Ryer.
From? Muncie also. Shkoyach for coming. I see you were careful not to sit in our guest chairs. Who piled up GEMARAs on our guest chairs? Mr. Brewers, what are those? I know, but it's the guest. Put it on your seat, not on the guest seat. This is not the guest table. That's the guest table. Yeah, okay, got it. Shalom Aleichem, guest. What's your name? From Steuben. From? A fully elite. Very nice. And Dessler, Mamish, you're making it
Starting Wednesday.
You came in from Yerushalayim to tell me this? I saw your message already. Oh, so you want me to go there on Wednesday to kick it off? Tomorrow's Wednesday?
Monday.
Oh, I should go tomorrow and kick it off, and we're starting on Wednesday. I hear. Okay, Bezer Shem. He's from Bienenstock, and Bienenstock they're going to have a screen, and we're going to go, and we're going to Bezer Shem. It's going to be in a lot of yeshivas, a lot of different. You got to be the first guys to jump in. Nachshon, Givaldik. Next, they should really start now because I don't know what the sugyas are going to be like in Hurrius. I don't want to Bezer Hashem is going to be great.
Saw the sneak peek video.
Yeah. Bishara Niskal. I personally don't think that you destroy the car. I agree with most of the people here. Hillel, what do you say? Machlokes. Hillel says Machlokes Givaldik. Vegla Rufa. Here's Vegla Rufa in case. Oh, here's a self-driving car and a stickle. A little, there's the Waymo.
Famous rider who got.
Here, look.
There's a famous rider who got hit by a car. A guy hit him. So he bought the car and he destroyed it with baseball bats. It's a famous rider.
Kitzer, these things right over here. This is what it looks like, a self-driving car. It's a little spooky. You drive next to it and there's nobody in it. No, it's going, it goes. I'll tell you what's the difference. I was in my son-in-law's Tesla in Utah. He went from his garage. In other words, the reverse, the whole thing. A 2-hour drive to the lake, didn't touch the gas or the brakes even once, and I was driving behind him. It's amazing. It just switches lanes. If the guy goes in front of you, if the guy in front of you is a little bit too slow, he's going 75 and you want to go 80, just cuts people off, goes in. It looks like I'm a sugar driver, and it does it beautifully. Over 2 hours, the self-drive feature. Here, there, so we don't, it's not so Nagel, but over there. So what's the big deal? If he's sitting in the seat and pretending he's driving or not, the self-drive is here. Rabbi said it's here. I wanted to say something, but I'm not going to say it because there's too many emails to go through tomorrow. I was going to say, once the self-drive comes out, certain people, they're going to take away their license forever. Let's just say older people, okay? 97-year-olds and up, they're going to take away. Just do the self-drive in Shalom Yisrael. Shar Niskal. No, I didn't want to go there. But the reverse feature for women, for sure, there'll be the thing, it'll be the parking feature. V'shar Niskal. Ve'egla Rufa. Egla Rufa. So what's Egla Rufa? We know if a body was found between two cities, they measure the distance, and then the Dayanim from the city that was found closer, they do a little bit of a chop, and they say some psukim, that Egla Rufa, that calf is also b'hana. If it gets mixed in with other calves, it's a big problem. V'tzipari Mitzayra, here, a Mitzayra who has, that almost looks like Menachem Toker. I hope not. So there's a very long process of how Mitzayra becomes tar. He has to bring two. You're saying that is true. He brings two birds. Bekitzer, which bird exactly? But one of them you dunk into the mixture over there and you sprinkle. The other one you shech. And these are the birds. They're actually, we have them over here. These little birds.
Just look like Toker.
So, also b'hana, v'usar nazir, the hair of a nazir. So, as you know, when we started nazir, I did an interview with this Rabbi Turgeman. Very fascinating. So he cuts off his hair, and that hair becomes asur b'hana. I'm not going to get into the whole shaitel thing. And he takes the hair and he puts it underneath the shlamim. That's where they burn it. It's also So, let me just tell you now, so we can do a little chazara in 1 minute. What the Mishnah is bringing down is two things. It's a two-step process. We're talking about things that are asur b'hana, but also things that are chashav, things that you sell them as is in one unit. All these things that you'll notice, it's a full animal, a large piece of meat, an egla, a bird. Usar nazir, this must be also something chashav, a whole sheitel worth. Upeter chamar, here we go. If a person has a firstborn donkey, he must redeem it by giving a sheep to the kohen. The real one, you have to be part of the mitzvah. So they acquired, I guess, a firstborn donkey, and then they did the mitzvah of the Peter Chamar, of redeeming it with that sheep. Now, ubasar b'chalav. Basar b'chalav. Rabbi said, what is basar b'chalav? What's basar b'chalav? So Rashi goes into a little bit of a thing here. He says like this. If there's milk mixed into the meat, that's something that is batal. So what does the Mishnah mean? It's not batal. So you must say this is the case right over here. It's beautiful how they did it. Milk fell into the meat, and the meat has nice and tam. You're able to taste the milk in the meat. That's why people use milk in the meat. Then he takes a piece of the meat. He takes a geschmack piece that's roy, that's chashuv, and puts that piece of meat into a pot of other meat. The other pot is not batal. The 1,000 pieces of meat in the other pot are all basar b'chalav now. Because that piece is already chashuv, and it's already what do you call it? It's already exactly min b'minoi. It's already asur because of basar b'chalav. It wasn't batal because of basar b'chalav. So now this basar b'chalav meat that goes into another 1,000 pieces of meat becomes
the first one.
The first one la halacha. If you put too much.
Because it was more.
Yeah. No. If it's less, if it's a small amount, if it's 1 out of 1,000 milk into meat, if I have if your wife is cooking cholent and one drop of milk falls into the chont, what happens to the chont?
No, it's
Nothing.
nothing.
It's batel. So why? But the Mishnah says it's not batel. We're talking about this.
What's the case?
The case is that a lot of milk went into the chont. Time out. It was not batel. Then you took it out, and then you mixed that into another thing.
But over there in that case, the milk fell in. Every drop that fell in, you shouldn't have vataled it.
I don't know. I didn't see that. There's a lot. It was a big flow. And by the way, we don't pass it. Whoa, time out. No. Time out. Let me address what he just said. He's asking based on what we learned, the drop by drop. But we don't pass it like that because I showed the Rashi. I don't know if I showed it in the English here. The Rashi is mefurish. We don't pass it like Rav Dimi. A drop by drop. That's not how we do. That was one sheet in Rabbi Yochanan. It was a great sheet and it was a lot of fun. But that's not how we pass it. V'sarei mishtaleach. I don't know that we have a great one, but this is just a picture on Yom Kippur. We have two goats, and one of them you throw down the mountain for kapara for Klal Yisrael. That is not. It's not batal. V'chulin shenishchatu ba'azara. And if you take a regular animal and you shecht it inside the Beis Hamikdash, that becomes also bahana. Harei elu asurim v'oisrim b'kol shehu. All these things become asur. Was b'kol shehu 1 in 1,000. It's a full animal that you shechted over there. But if you go into a shlachtais with another 1,000 animals, all the animals over there become asur because one of them is chulin that was shechted in the Beis Hamikdash. So now the Gemara just says what we discussed and explains. Tana Michael Chashav. What's in the list in the Mishnah? Because there are a couple of things that are missing from the Mishnah. So let's understand. If we're talking about important items that are sold as is, Lisni nami chatichos nevela. What's a nevela? A nevela is mutar b'hana. You're allowed to, if you have a nevela, an animal died on your farm, you're allowed to benefit from it. You're not allowed to eat it. But it's chashav. It's a nice piece. You can sell it to a guy. You can sell it to McDonald's. It's worth a lot of money. So how come it's not in the Mishnah? How come the Mishnah doesn't mention nevela? Elamai, you're going to say no. The only thing that's mentioned in the Mishnah is what? Is something that's also b'hana. So what's missing? There's something very, very famous and also b'hana that's not in the Mishnah. That's chametz. And if you are counting only things that are also b'hana, listen, nami chametz b'Pesach. Why is chametz not mentioned in the Mishnah? It's because it's a combination of the two things. You need something that's also b'hana and chashav. Davar sheb'minyan, something very important. They sell it as is, one piece. V'isur. Now, a piece of bread, a little roll, is not something you sell as an individual. You sell a giant bread, you sell it, but not one piece. And memela, that's why it's not in the Mishnah. What about nevela? Nevela is also b'hana, but a vela, I'm sorry, it's not also b'hana. A nevela is very chashav, but it's not also b'hana. So again, that doesn't fit into our Mishnah. It says GEMARA, v'lisni egoizi perech. How come it doesn't say perech, nuts? V'rimoni badon. They're special. These are very, very expensive items. You sell one pomegranate as is. It's like a whole thing. Like here in Israel, you sell, I guess around the world, you sell one pineapple. Over here, they're expensive. 50 shekels, 60 shekels, one. Davar sheb'minyan. Rabbi Menachem Mendel Fenster from the Koil, he told me, he always wondered, what's egoizi perech? What's this chashava nut? What are we talking about? He says, until he found it says in the pasuk, Vayimaros chayem befarech. So Rashi says, bekashu. Yeah, we're talking about Arla here. But listen, he goes to perech v'rimoni badon. The davar sheb'minyan b'isur anah. Right, of course, one pomegranate is not also b'anah. A pomegranate that's a Arla is also b'anah. Oh, you should have seen last night when I said it to the Israelis, they're on the floor. They loved it. Cashew. I'm bad. Am I exaggerating?
Yes. I think they understand.
No, it's an Israeli joke. It's for Hebrew. But farach, cashew.
Yeah, we're not so clever.
No, it's a language thing. You have to know the language well.
You said it.
Those of you who know. Oh. So how come? No. So how come Arla pomegranate is not mentioned in the Mishnah. It's something that you sell as is. Imagine a Arla pineapple. It should say, if there's an Arla pineapple and it got mixed in with non-Arla pineapples, all 1 to 1,000 are all bottled. They're all asubana. Says GEMARA, Tanile Hasam. You're right, it should say it, but it already says it in Masechtas Arla. Here it is. Ve'eluhein, we're talking about Arla. It goes a perach, reminded Badan. You can keep this on for a second, but as the GEMARA, Tanile Hasam, Ariel Klei Kerem. I'll show you real quickly Klei Kerem again. Yeah, if you plant wheat right inside the vineyard, that's Klei Kerem. So that's the Mishnah over there. Great. By the way, again, I want to remind the Olam, it's a great opportunity. You know what? I'm serious right now. We'll do the Refuah Shleima for Yonatan Eitan. We'll put it on our status. Take an act to get another person to learn Torah. And say, I'm doing it, Refuah Yonatan Eitan. He's sitting with us, he comes, he's matriach to come through his treatment and everything. Get another guy, it doesn't cost you anything. It's 10 seconds, you put on status, and people come to Torah. Says GEMARA. How come it doesn't say the large breads of a balabais? Your answer was great. That a little piece of what is that? The cheap bread that they sell in America. It's not even bread. I don't know what it is. Wonder bread, a fluffy piece. Okay, so that's not choshev, and we're not going to talk about that on Pesach. But there's a rebbe shechala, chassan schal. This is big. It's huge. It's chametz. It's on Pesach. So it's a davar shebiminu. You sell it as is, one at a, and it's also b'hana. So why is that not in the Mishnah? So the GEMARA, very good. Mancham is domelo. Rebbe Kiva. That's Rebbe Kiva. Look at the Mishnah again on the screen. Hatana le'asam. Rebbe Kiva ma'isiv. Avki karshav alabais. Yes, over there it's talking about something else. Not talking about chametz, but it's the same idea. It's talking about a large bread that's also b'hana. Great. Next. Harei Elu, it says in the Mishnah, at the end of the Mishnah, these are the things that are asur, and if you mix them into another thing, it's also everything becomes asur. It says GEMARA lemuti mai. Harei Elu has to usually comes to exclude something else that is not mentioned in the Mishnah. Lemuti davar shebeminyan velav isuri hana. This is for me. This was a good example of where the GEMARA says something. It comes to exclude something that is chashuv. And doesn't have. Give me an example. What is it? So in the art scroll, it doesn't bring it, and even not on the bottom. But in the Avodah Zarah, and that's what we're trying to mimic over here. Where all the pshat, the translation is on top, with an example, with something. Look at your GEMARA over there, and it'll say, what does it say? Got it? Chatichas nevela. That's very important. Don't just translate the word and move on. We spoke about a nevela. Davar shebeminyan, a nevela is very chashav. It's worth $1,000 this piece of meat, but it's velavi surena. Next one, Avi. Inami limudi isuri hana. Veloy davar shebeminyan. Something that is also bahana. What's also bahana? Chametz and Pesach. Veloy davar shebeminyan. You have what I'm saying? What does it say by you? Doesn't say. I'm not putting down. I'm just saying it's a different style. A lot of times that in the English article will be on the bottom. Like you have to look down. I thought it'd be much better flows this. And Be'ez Hashem, I want to do it more concise. I want to do it more like the Oiz V'Hadar, where it's less pages, not a lot of turning. Hurrius, if we would have done it concise, it would have been 13 daf. This one.
Hebrew is a language you can say things.
I know. So we're going to try it out. The Hebrew is much, much shorter. By the way, Dave, once again, it's unbelievable. He does a beautiful job of doing this luach. I use it all the time. I have it in my GEMARA. I taped it right in here. Here, check this out. I'll show you upside down. It's in my GEMARA, both sides. I use it all the time to see what's going on and what we did and where we are. It's available for free here in the Beis Medrash. When is it coming out, Dave? By the Shabbaton. It's coming out by the Shabbaton. That's the only gifts we're giving the Olam when they come. It's also a good one. I think somebody donated Chumashim. Oh yeah, Kobe. Shnai Mikra. And there's other stuff. There's some surprises. Okay, so we said each The Mishnah is saying if you have half, we said we need two things. There are two conditions. It has to be Oseh B'Hana and Choshev. So if it's Oseh B'Hana and not Choshev, meaning Chametz on Pesach, a piece of bread, or it's Choshev but not Oseh B'Hana, meaning something like Nevela, that's what the Mishnah is coming to exclude. Again, I want to tell the Olam, I think, I thought about it a bunch. Am I saying this to toot my horn? For me, not. It's not. But I think it's a possibility for everybody. Last Shabbos, I learned 31 daf Chazara, in addition to preparing the shir and everything. This Shabbos, I learned 36 daf Chazara. I think it's possible. I think the Olam could learn 7 daf Chazara. It's not a brow. For me, it took about 7 minutes a daf, depending on some daf much shorter. The shorter dafim and the samachs, it's like this. What? Because of last week you did 7 daf. This is Moshe Einhorn. Listen to what I said. Yishkach, it was worth it. The gaiva, even if the Olam thinks it's a little gaiva, for me, whatever. I think it's just to give the musagim. It's possible to do chazara. Yishkach Moshe, thank you. Thank you for sticking up for me. Why do you have to say it? It's such a, he's all into himself. No, because you, 7 daf, you did the chazara.
No one's saying that.
I know you're not saying it. I know what you're thinking, though. I have the ability to read minds. I have the ability to read minds. You forget it. Okay, good.
Only you're saying it. No one's saying it.
No, I happen to be. To explain, I want to finish Avodah Zarah 40 times. I don't remember what I learned. And I said, okay. I made a deal with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I said, listen, I'm going to do the 40. It says in GEMARA 40. So I already did a lot. Last cycle I did like 30. So I just have to do 40. I have to get to 40. So I'm plugging through. I want to get it. That's not going to happen by Shabbos, by the Shabbaton. I'm missing a lot, but I try, and I have a goal for the Avodah Zarah. I just think that it's possible if you have the time. You sit 7 minutes, another 7 minutes. Somebody said it took him 10 minutes to daf. Okay, but if you know it well, you can just read it. Try to say the words if possible. If not, just with your eyes, and it goes well. Okay, Zok the Gemara. Oh. Yain Nesach. Oh. Yain. Sorry. Yain Nesach shenofel lebar kuloi osur bahana. If wine, that's yet Nesach wine, osur wine, falls into a pit of kosher wine, the whole thing becomes osur bahana. So, going back, this is the case, right? Guy sits there with a little thing. He puts a little drop of yain nesach in thousands of gallons of wine, expensive Napa Valley wine, the whole thing. By the way, I had a kasha on Reb Shruli's Maisa, and somebody wrote to me today. He says, "You didn't see the whole thing," and I know exactly what he's talking about because you do a short, you take out the whole. He says he spoke 45 minutes about that topic, so you missed the whole thing. He said, real quick, okay, you weren't there, but okay, we'll do chazara on the Maisa. Not saying the whole Maisa, but basically, a Jew opened up a 9-liter bottle of Napa Valley Reserve, 2010, thousands of dollars. And the Meshgiach saw it, and the Meshgiach saw him before smoking. So the Meshgiach took the whole bottle on Shabbos. So I'm smoking on Shabbos. Not stop smoking. He took the whole bottle and chucked it. And he said that the Balabas was very gracious, and he went to the guy and said, don't feel bad. I have no tightness on you. Just if you ever have a situation where somebody does something by mistake, you should be Michael and pay it forward. I'm paying it forward to you. And he says that the guy met him once, like a few years later. He said, you should know, since that time that you told me that, I was never Mechal Shabbos again because you treated me like that. So I had a kasha on a Maisa, like they say. It was just a short. A few people sent me the short of Reb Sruli saying this Maisa. I just had the kasha. I said, just because the guy opened the bottle doesn't make it yain nesach. We learned that whatever he pours, whatever's in the cup becomes nesach. Fine, but the 9 liters, why pour? So the tain is really on the meshgiach. So he said that maybe it was exactly what he was talking about, and that he went into the whole thing. It was just a kasha, not a stira or anything. If I care, the first time I heard the story, I really thought it was Reb Sruli himself saying, the whole. He was saying a story. He said because he said, "But did he have uvda?" I was there. I saw this. Okay. Anyways, it was a great story. It was a good story. Yain nesach shenofal lebar kuli osur bahana. We already explained it there, by the way. So, Rav Nachman, you said, but one drip at a time, it becomes according to that shita. So what's the answer according to that shita? I addressed it then, and I have to address it again because we forgot what the answer is. The answer is, according to Rashi over there, that it didn't drip in. It's like this. It's dripping in. But no, according to that shita. Rashi says, but what is he going to do with this Mefurish Mishnah that says the nesach that falls into a kosher pit? Asur. How do you say drip drip becomes batal? So Rashi explains over there. This is not drip drip. According to that mandama. According to others, you can say it's drip drip. Says Reb Shimon Gamliel, what you do is very simple. You sell the entire thing, $2 million worth of wine minus 36 cents. The 36 cents of the drips you take out, you don't profit from that. Otherwise, you have a $2 million loss. Omer Rav, Rabbi said this is a super freebie. Omer Rav, Aloch Reb Shimon Gamliel, Chavis b'chavis.
Chavios.
Really? By me it says Chavis b'chavis.
Chavios.
What? What does it say in the Gemara? Chavis. That's a little bit of a mistake. Check this out. Chavis b'chavis. We all know what that is. If one barrel, which didn't touch the other wine, it just got mixed in with other barrels, then Reb Shimon Gamliel. Chavis b'chavios. Interesting. Okay. It doesn't even have a tzion here to show that they changed it. Chavis b'chavios. It should be. It could be you're right. And this is also his I don't know. Okay.
It is chavios in the Pirish here.
The period. He says it in the Gemara. It's funny because he's right. It is one chavis in chaviyos. Okay, so that's because the non-kosher wine didn't touch the kosher wine. But not if you introduce wine into wine, not when he drips it in the yain nesach into the kosher wine. Here we go. And Shmuel says this halacha is even wine and wine. You just take off the profit of the yain nesach now. Beautiful. Check this out. You got it. This is the best. V'chein Omar Rav Shmuel bar Nosson Omar Rav Chanina afilu yain b'yain. V'chein Omar Rav Nachman Omar Rav afilu yain b'yain. V'chein Omar Rav Nachman halacha l'maisa. What's halacha l'maisa? Yain nesach, yain b'yain asur. Min b'minoi, wine into wine asur, but chavis b'chaviyai. So chavis mutar. Okay, no chiddush there. And then he says all the way at the end, stam yain. If it's not yain nesach gomer, it's just wine that a guy touched, afilu yain b'yain, mutter, even if mutter, meaning you just take off that amount, and Shalom Yisrael, Daf Amud Beis, sponsored by and our Global Specialist International Financial Services Anonymous, Anonymous, in gratitude to Rebelli and MDY for promoting Achdus Yisrael, V'Ahavas Yisrael. Gas Sheleven, Shezafasa Ovid Yechavim. Beautiful. Check this out. So first of all, I want to show you that we're talking about 3 products here. Okay, these are the 3 products. Stone is not very absorbent. Cheres, earthenware, is very absorbent. Wood is in between. Check this out. This is beautiful, this new technology. What they would do is they would coat the inside of their wine presses with tar. And then they'll take wine, as they're doing the process, they'll take wine and put it into the tar. Tar is not a very good smelling thing, with Moshe Rabbeinu, etc. So to overcome that, they would add wine into the process. You have hot tar, and then you put wine in it, and it was able to overcome some of the smell. But guess who's doing it? Check out his yarmulke. It's a guy. So this is yain nesach. So what do? So this sugya we really have, we're not going to try to memorize everything, and certainly not going to try to memorize the art scroll charts over here. But just remember that there's 3 products, and there's 2 shitas, so you can get a little bit, but we'll do what we can do. Gash 11, shezafasa ovid gechavim. So he's putting tar, here this is a process, here's in our days. The guy has an earthenware thing, he says, look, you got to put tar. It doesn't work without tar. It's very porous, so you got to put some pitch in there. Pine pitch. There he is. He pours it into his vessel. He just pours it around, and now it becomes less porous. So whatever he's putting in there is shtickle black on the outside, not a nishkeferlich. You wipe it down. The Gemara says it's a certain process. You have to wipe it down with ashes and then water. V'toira. I asked last night, and I saw that I made a shtickle mistake because I read it a long time ago. What is the number 1 invention that saved the most lives? So it's not true. It's on the list, but it's not true. Say clean water, sanitation, vaccines, penicillin, but also what? Mosquito things, seatbelts, and soap. So I was aiming for soap. Soap saved millions and millions of lives. And last night when I said it, so Dave says, and if people would actually use it, it would save even more. That's why it's not on the list. If you have a shiloh, why it's not on the list? Because in those days they didn't have soap, so they would use ashes. Unfortunately, like I don't want to bring any riots from the Yemach Shemoineks during the war, but what they did with the ashes and certain things. Another point, and I looked it up today. It's true that in mikvahs, when they wash down the mikvah, let's say they power wash on mikvah, every so often you have to empty out all the water and wash it down. You have to be super careful to dry it out. You don't fill in the meik shamim, the rainwater, into a wet. Why? Because the meik shamim that mixes the mayim shuvim, the water from the sink, is possible for a mikvah. And when you introduce the rainwater, it could be like what we said before, drip by drip, whatever, mixes with that water and becomes aser. If you fill it up with rainwater and then you do hashaka, you introduce sink water, not a problem because you already have 40 sa. But if you're starting out with bad water and then you introduce so they're very makbid, they bring a mashgiach, it's a whole thing. You have to dry it down. Bishul eitz. Now that we just spoke about stone. Now we're talking about wood. Rebbe Omer Yinagiv. This whole process of washing it and then using the soap, this afer, the Chachamim Yiklev es hazefes. You have no choice. You got to peel down the tar. This must be a hard job. And then what do you do when you peel down the tar? Then you should add, if you have a pencil, then you do niguv. You also do niguv. Not enough just to peel it down. Now the third product is vishal cheres. Or this is the worst. That's very absorbent. Aval pi shekolav es hazefes. Harei zu asura. Even though you peeled the tar, the pitch, it's asur. Now I'm going to ask you a question. If you know the answer, don't answer. But who remembers? We learned it. What do you do if you have earthenware and you introduced wine to it and you want to use the earthenware? A lot of people said last night, "Oh, you got to break it."
No, you re-soak it and leave it 12 months.
No. Close. Menachem Ateh did with his fingers, he's right.
3 times.
I said people that don't know.
I didn't know, I just guessed.
Okay. You're supposed to soak it in water 3 times for 24 hours. We learned it a number of times. Say the Chazar, that's what I'm saying, Chazar. Oh, what is this, Napa Valley? This is Napa Valley?
Yeah.
It's the most expensive wine produced in Napa Valley. Approximate value of the bottle, $10,000.
We're having it with a Shabbaton.
No, 9 liters. I've never seen a kosher 9 liter in my life. I know it's basically this tall. It's massive. The Shabbaton, we had 3 liter. That's a super magnum. But this is it's a different. Okay.
It's from Sruli, clarifying the story. Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
I'm serious.
Sruli sent it to you?
To Mark.
Oh, cool. No, because I said last night that the biggest question that I have in the story is how much did it cost? That was my shayla. Oh wow, beautiful. It's really real. Okay, Givaldik. Live updates during share. Omarava, Dafkes Fasa. This thing of nigov, this idea of washing it down and putting the ashes is only when there was tar. Aval dorach ba loy. So again, I would recommend if you have a pencil or a pen, you have to write these words in. It's super important for the sugya. Aval dorach ba. What is it talking about? With tar or without tar? Without tar. It's very important to understand because a second later we're going to say the same thing, same words without explanation. And it must say with tar, must mean with tar. If you, how do you say it in English? Trod, step on these grapes. Tread. Trample. Okay, I like your Naftali's thing. Trample the grapes. No, you don't have to do nigov. What do you do? What do you do if you don't do nigov? What's 1 step below nigov? Less than nigov? Just wash it down with water. Because there's no tar. Tar is problematic. It'll absorb a little bit. It says the GEMARA Pshita. What's the big chiddush? The Fasad Nan. It says in the Mishnah that this tar, the same muadin afilu darach. I would think it's the same, whether without tar, but you trampled it. And we use this word fasa because that's what everybody does. They put a little tar in it. And some say Rava said, Dafka's fossil. It's only because he put it on top. Aval darach ba. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Now you have to write it with your pencil. Aval darach ba with tar. Oh, this tar, it's not enough just to wipe it down. What are you going to have to do? Peel it off. Pshita. So over here, the pshita is the opposite pshita we said before. And the reason is because one is without tar, and this one is with tar. Pshita that you need to peel it. Sfasat not. I think they're the same, and it grabbed one word because that's normal. No, it's only in the case of tar, of darchba, but if you stepped on the grapes, it's not enough just to wipe it down. You need to peel it down. And the Gemara brings a right to it from a story. Great story. Somebody came to Reb Chia. Give me a guy that could kasher. So I said, the first thing that came to my mind is in our house in Miami, my son, that's his part of his parnasa. He does coaching. He's mamish, gewaldik, bemet. He's full. I don't know. For who knows how long. You can't get into him now. But he rents out the house in Miami and he Airbnbs it and he makes a parnas off it. So one of the things that initially when he wanted to do it, my shver had a whole thing with my shver. It's my chaylik, your chaylik. Let him do it. So he said no, but he's gonna trafe up the kitchen. Who are the clients? They're not. So he said, well, cash it every single time because we gotta get a company. It's expensive stuff. They come in with this blowtorch. Not a blowtorch. They do it with the steam, but a real steamer. It goes.
Not Tornado VS4.
Tornado VS4. That's it. Comes in with this Tornado VS4. Takes 20 minutes. He goes through all the marble, all the thing, the whole thing, the sink, everything. Turns on the self-clean. So he comes into the basement. He says, "Listen, I need a guy that can do this. I have a wine press from a guy. I need a hechsher right now." So Reb Chia, Omer Leila Rav, Reb Chia grabs Rav. So how are Reb Chia and Rav related, Rabbi Isai? You remember? Yes. Uncle. How the uncle? Crazy story. Rav's father and Rav's mother were both. Rav's father was Reb Chia's brother, and Rav's mother was Reb Chia's sister. Crazy story. They're not related. His father and mother are not related, but they were both a brother and a sister of the same person, Reb Chia. I'll show you here how it's going. And Reb Chia is Rav's uncle. So Reb Chia tells Rav, the Gadol Ador in Eretz Yisrael later on, tells him, you do the hechsher. Make sure he doesn't come screaming at me in the base medrash. There's a story in Baba Kama Daf Tzadik Tes that says that the woman came into the base medrash by Reb Chia, same Reb Chia, and asked him, is this a good coin, not a good coin? Should she do business with this coin? He said, yeah, it's a good coin. She came to the next day and said, nobody wants to accept this coin. You messed me up. So he took from his own pocket, he paid her for the coin. He says, I'm going to go to the Mishur Sadin. Now, if he messes up a whole wine factory, it's a big expense. He doesn't want to do the Mishur Sadin. Make sure you don't mess it up. Ozal Chazi da have a shiot fei. He walks into the pool, into this wine press, and he sees it's smooth like anything, beautiful, easy job to kasher. Omar Avadi Binig of Sagila. All we have to do is wash it, put a little ash, givaldik. I don't know if you've ever had the schos. In the real estate business, you go on all these buildings. So you have a flat building in America. Even here in Eretz Yisrael, they put these sheets of roofing down, and there's seals, tar paper, whatever you want to call it, and it looks great. You get on the roof, and it's great. Then you start stepping on it. All of a sudden, you hear squish, squish. There's water underneath. It's noir vayim. Where's the hole? Where did it come from? You start searching. You bring companies in. They don't know. They all tell you got to replace the whole thing. The whole roof. That's what happened over here. Mamish like that. There's a layer of tar, and all of a sudden it looks great. It looks smooth, and all of a sudden there's a bubble somewhere. Chazapila, there's a little crack somewhere. Mituse, here we even have a little bit of a picture. If you want to see a little bit. Here it looks smooth. Everything's going great. Also, he takes a closer look, and he sees that there's a little crack, and in the crack there's wine. He says, "Oy vavoy, this is no good. It's not going to be enough just to wash it down and put a little." Ash. It's full of wine. Omar holy sagli lo benigo velo bekilov. You got to peel the whole thing down. This is why my uncle, my beloved, says to me, make sure you don't mess up. And that Baruch Hashem, I caught it in time. Tonu Rabbanon, hagas v'hamachatz v'hamashpech. This wine press that we're talking about. V'hamachatz is, let's call it a ladle. I don't know what it is exactly. And these are all made out of earthenware. Remember, earthenware. V'hamashpech. And a funnel made out of earthenware. Shaloi v'gechavim, from Goyim, does it have tar? No tar. Just made out of earthenware. Rebbe Mater Benigov, Rebbe says it's okay to wipe it down. Chacham say no. And Rebbe says that when you have earthenware jugs of Goyim, even without any pitch, tar, shein asurim, it's also. So now the question is, you have a jug of earthenware and you have a ladle of earthenware. What's the difference? One is mutter, one is aser. Why? He says, because in the jug, the wine's going to stay there for months. What happens is going to stay there for months? Eventually, it's going to penetrate the walls. This is something you use for a second. You go like this. You put the soup in, the wine in. It's nothing. Next, v'shal eitz, v'shal even yinagev, and if it's made out of wood, you wipe it down. V'imhoyim zupafim, but if there's tar in it, asurim, you got to do what? You have to peel it down. Okay, so let's just see this for a second, just to understand. Check this out. I didn't like this as much as I changed it this morning to this. Yeah. Why not? Wine is cold. The Mishnah says that if you have a stone wine press, what do? You wipe it down. The problem is we just learned that if it's a stone wine press, it's also. Question number 2 is the Mishnah says that if it's made out of wood, you wipe it down. What does Rebbe say? It's also. The Bryce is more machmer. You see the two bottoms, they both say also. Top says mutter. So what's the nafkamina? Very, very simple nafkamina, says the Gemara. Says the Gemara, I'll tell you what the difference is. He didn't step on the grapes. When you step on the grapes, it goes deeper in, it goes deep in. That makes it also. If you have these kelim made out of earthenware, Rebbe says, wipe it down. Chacham say it's not enough. As the Gemara, what do I do with the Mishnah that says it's asur? How does Rebbe say just wipe it down when the Mishnah says it's asur? The Mishnah is going according to Rabbanon, Rebbe not according to Rebbe, so it's not a kash on Rebbe. Just 3 more lines. Darash Rava. Nava artechu. If you have a wine press, you know what you could do? You just put the hot water on it and it's good. Rava gave mishad gulfil arpanyo. Here. If Rava had, let's say I had a jug. Yeah, there's a jug. I think MDY got this for me for one of the things at the Shabbaton. So I'll use it. I've never used it before. You have a jug, and he wanted to send it somewhere. What would he do? He would take the jug, flip it upside down, put it into the sack like this, and once it's in here, then he would tie this knot. Okay? That the Gemara considers a double chaysim, a double seal. Why? Because it's upside down and it's tied. The guy's not going to go through the trouble of opening it up and taking it out and flipping it over just to use it temporarily as a kli. Something that is there, actually he did let me just show you what he did, so it shouldn't go to waste. This is Robert. Almost in the right place. Since these jugs are to hold wine for a long time, so Rabban said you need a double seal. Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.